Blessings and peace to you. This is SB Favor Thinking Podcast, and my name is SB Favor. How are you doing today? It is Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023. Another wonderful day and another day to be thankful. And as I always say, if you focus on what is good, then you can project something good to happen. When you focus on what is good, because there are no benefits to focusing on the negative things. It just pulls you down mentally and spiritually. So focus on what is good. Focus on what is good. You have to do that because it's just better. I don't even have to explain why. Focus on what is good. If you are out there traveling about today, make sure you are keeping yourself safe and keeping your family members safe. Say a prayer when you need to and stay focused. Don't be distracted by using your phone. Stay focused while you are out there traveling about because there's a lot going on and it's just important to stay focused. Okay? Just stay focused. If you would like to give to the podcast, you can give at Cash App, $SB Favor, or you can give at Venmo at SB Favor. Thank you so much. Once again, if you would like to give to the podcast, you can give at Cash App, $SB Favor, or you can give at Venmo at SB Favor. And I appreciate you donating because I need your support. It's always important to give. Well, my episode topic for today is embracing joy despite disappointments. 10 tips to stay positive and resilient. Unfortunately, sometimes things don't always go the way we want them to go. Sometimes there are setbacks. Sometimes there are things that just happen. And it doesn't mean that you have to do something wrong for something to happen. Life just happens, Sometimes things don't go according to plan. Sometimes there are delays for some reason. It could be anything. Sometimes you could miss your flight. You could be late for a very important appointment. But things just happen sometimes. And when things happen, we have to learn to stay focused because disappointment and discouragement is not something we're supposed to bask in. It's not something we're supposed to just stay focused on. When something happens, we're supposed to hit it and quit it and move on. I usually tell myself that, hit it and quit it and move on. Because if something happens, you're late for an appointment or you have challenges happening throughout your day, it's just important to stay focused and respond to the moment when you need to, and then just move on. Because we're human. We're going to have reactions and responses to things. There's no way that we can just not respond to things that are happening. But to be realistic, respond and then move on. And when I say respond, I mean just for that moment. Respond if you have to. Okay, that happened, this happened. And then move on. But if you respond to the moment and stay there, that's a problem. That's a problem. And the reason why I say that is because throughout the day, throughout the week, our life is supposed to be filled with joy. And I'm not talking about joy from material things and joy from things happening, but just the joy that you choose to walk in, the joy that you choose to focus on. All of us have so many things to be thankful for. And if you look around at your life and if you think about all the good things versus the bad things, you will see more good things than bad things. When you look at your life in a positive way and you think about all the blessings and you think about all the things that you have accomplished and you think about your family and just think about the good things in your life, you have a lot to be thankful for. And so basking in disappointment or basking in discouragement, that is not something that we should do. We should always remind ourselves at the top of the day No matter what happens today, I'm going to stay happy. No matter what happens today, I am going to stay in a place of joy. And I know there's probably somebody out there saying, easier said than done. Yeah, I hear your thoughts. But guess what? It comes down to what you decide. It comes down to what you choose to do throughout your day. That's what it comes down to. And then the next person might say, oh, well, you don't understand. This happened to me. All of us have something that has happened, and all of us has something that is happening even today that might not be good or in our favor, but you don't have to focus on it. You don't have to focus on it to the point where now your whole day is just sad. Now your whole day is just not good. You don't have to do that. This morning I got up, and normally when I get up in the morning, I pray and I grab my phone because I check my emails. My emails are filled with all kinds of stuff from the podcast, stuff for my businesses, just all kinds of things that I have to be informed about. And so this morning I read an email, and it wasn't good news. It was something that was trying to get me upset. And I say trying because it didn't get me upset. It was trying to get me upset. It was trying to get me upset. So I read the email and I said, oh, okay. Oh, all right. Okay. It is what it is, right? I'm not going to go all into the details of it, but it was just something that wasn't in my favor. And so I told myself, it's not anything that I can control, but I can pray about it and I can keep my joy. And so by the time I started my day, I told myself, okay, I choose joy today. I choose love today. I choose peace today. I choose all that is good for me today. And I will not let nothing rob me of my joy. That's what I told myself. I said, I'm not going to let anything take my joy. And if something tries to come my way, I'm going to fight for my joy. Oh, yes. That's what I told myself. So that is why I am talking about this topic now, because a lot of us go through things throughout our day, and sometimes many of us, we could be traveling to work in the car and somebody could cut us off, or maybe somebody is just not being polite, and the next thing you know, a little voice comes and says, you're not going to have a good day. Well, guess what? You don't have to give in to that. I'm here to tell you right now, you do not have to give in to misery. You don't have to give in to being sad. You don't have to give in to being disappointed to the point now your day is all gray and doom and gloom. You don't have to give in to that. There are some things in life that we can control by making a call. There are some things in life we can control by just putting our hands to the button. Some things we can control by just pulling out our wallet, credit card, or whatever. But there are some things in life that are beyond our control. And the things that are beyond our control, that's where God comes in. That's where you have to give it all to Him. And when I say give it to Him, I'm talking about praying about it. And then once you pray about it, you move on to the next thing to keep your joy. Yes. Pray about it and move on to the next thing to keep your joy. Because if it's something that you cannot control, you have to give it to God. If it's something that you cannot control, it means it doesn't belong to you. Yes, it means it does not belong to you. It means that it belongs to God. So that means that once you pray, you're releasing it. Prayer means you are releasing it. And once you release it, that's when you can feel better about it. But if you're one of those people and you're carrying it around with you, and you're thinking that thinking about it is going to help the situation, you might be thinking that worrying about it is going to help the situation. No. Worrying and thinking about all those stressful things, guess what's going to happen? That mess will start to affect your health. And so that is why it is so important for us to keep our joy and to stay happy. Because when you stay happy and you have joy, your body releases those good hormones in your body that give you more health, endorphins, that give you more health. And if you're sad and depressed and worried and you're thinking about all kinds of things you cannot control, then your body will release the toxic hormones. So do yourself some good and think about the things that give you joy. Think about the things that help you to be a better you. Don't focus on the things you can't control, because what benefit is it? What benefit is it? There's a scripture in the Bible that says, cast your cares upon the Lord because he cares for you. And I know there may be somebody out there that may not understand that, but it's simply stating that when you pray, you are releasing your concerns, your cares, your burdens to God. When you pray, if you have to pray 10 times about it in one day, guess what? That means you are releasing it 10 times. Yes. I'm saying it like this because I have been in many situations in my life where I had to pray over and over and over to give it to God. And I always talk about this incident that happened to me in the past. When my mother passed in 2021, my mother passed approximately 1 week before my daughter was scheduled to be married. I had to plan my mother's funeral, go to the wedding, and then after the wedding, go to the funeral, which was a week later. Now, I'm saying all that to say, through that whole process, I had to stay focused. I had to focus on what was good. I had to take time to grieve, yes. But during the whole process for my daughter, I had to keep a smile and I had to walk in joy. Yes, I had to walk in joy. I had to walk in peace in the midst of pain. Because during that whole process, all I could do was just think about my mom. All I could do was think about her being at the wedding, if she could be at the wedding. So the whole process was very, very painful. But as I released it to God, I was able to walk through the pain with joy. That's exactly what I did. And I learned a very, very powerful lesson. And the lesson was, if I release my cares, my burdens, and my situations and things that I cannot control, if I release it to God, then he will release what I need to me. But if we are walking around and we are not releasing those things to God, we harm ourselves, because once you start to worry and be fearful and carry burdens, once again, like I said a minute ago, then you will have issues with your health. Why? Because when stress causes health issues, and I'm not saying you will be sick per se, if you think the wrong way. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is I'm trying to make a point about making sure that when you're going through something in life, that you release it to God, that you don't carry the burden, that you stay in a place of joy, that you stay in a place of happiness, because it doesn't help you if you are worried or walking around fearful. It does harm to your body. Most importantly, yes, you should always think positive, even in the midst of things that may not be favorable or good. You should always think positive. But dealing with disappointment and discouragement, to stay positive, it is a choice. It is a conscious decision every minute, every hour, to have a focus on the things that are beneficial and not the things that are not helpful. It is important to be resilient and understand the benefits of being resilient. And once again, it's a choice. It's an act of your will. If you will to do something, you will do it. And we can't make excuses. We can't make excuses because when we make excuses, you're basically saying you accept failure. So don't make excuses. Don't make excuses for something that you can do by simply being willing to do it. I'm going to give out 10 tips to be resilient, to be focused, and to walk through choosing joy when disappointment or when something happens or doesn't go according to plan. And just how to walk through your day when you're having a challenging day. It's important to stay focused. So tip number 1, acknowledge and accept your feelings. It's okay to feel the disappointment. It's our natural human emotion. Acknowledge your feelings. Allow yourself to process what you feel and allow yourself the space to heal. But don't stay there. Don't stay in a moment that's already passed. If you're dealing with grief or if you're dealing with something that could be very difficult, yes, allow yourself to go through the feelings and acknowledge it for what it is, but don't allow yourself to stay there. Give yourself time to walk it out. Throughout your day, take a moment and you can reflect, but don't allow it to just cover your whole day to the point where now you are sad all day long and you're just in what they call a bad mood all day long. You don't want to do that. Acknowledge your feelings. Be honest about what you feel and process your feelings. Process your feelings so that you can work through it. Number 2, focus on what you can control. As I stated earlier, there are certain things that are not in our control. We must redirect our energy to finding solutions and taking positive actions according to what we can control. The things we cannot control, we got to release it to God. Because if you release it to God, then He will release what is needed for you if you release it to God. Number 3, practice gratitude. Cultivate a gratitude mindset. Focus on blessings and the positive things in your life during challenges. Focus on the positive things that give you a smile. Because gratitude can help you overall. It helps your spirit. It helps your mindset. It just helps you. It can boost you up. Boost your energy. Just being grateful. Number 4, learn from the experience. Learn from the disappointments. Learn from setbacks, challenges. Learn from all that you go through. Always extract lessons from all situations. Because when you extract lessons from all situations, then you will have the knowledge and the wisdom to handle future setbacks and challenges. Number 5, find support and connections. Share your feelings with trusted friends and family members that understand who you are according to what is happening at that moment. All of us need someone to talk to. And of course, we cannot talk to just anybody. But find supportive connections, friends, family members, people you know that's going to encourage you and speak words of life and wisdom back to you in the midst of whatever it is you are going through. Number 6, engage in self-care. Prioritize self-care activities such as going to the gym, working out, and spending time just in front of the ocean. That's something that I do. I love the ocean. I could go to the beach every day and just sit there. And so, but engage in self-care. Engage in self-care by, like I said, meditation, your hobbies, exercising, and doing those things that help you spiritually and naturally. Number 7, visualize positive outcomes. Yes, this is my favorite one. Visualize positive outcomes, because when you're going through something, if you see yourself on the other side of it already being resolved, the resolution comes quicker. I can say that because it has happened to me many times. If I have a problem or a situation that I'm working through, I will visualize myself on the other side of the situation with the problem resolved. Yes, that is projecting the positive outcome. I do it all the time. If something is going on, I say, okay, I got to be optimistic and not pessimistic. So what I do is I visualize myself being on the other side of the problem. Yes, I've been doing that all my life. And I'm telling you, when you do that, instead of complaining, things work quickly in your favor. In the process of waiting, you're just learning something new and how to handle challenges. Number 8, avoid dwelling on the past. Avoid thinking about, oh, I shouldn't have did this. This happened to me before. Oh, this happened to me 4 years ago. This happened to me 5 years ago. Avoid that. Forget that. Focus on now. Focus on the solutions that are available now. Focus on resources and problems solved now. Focus on where you are and where you are going now, because the past is the past and we cannot get that back. We cannot go backwards. Focus on going forward. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Guess what? Go forward. See yourself on the other side of where you're going and what you foresee happening that is positive. You do not have to focus on the mistake. You do not have to dwell on, like I said, oh, this happened to me 5 years ago. Oh, this always happened to me this time, the same time each year. No, stop saying things like that. Project something new. Project something better. Project something good. Project the blessing. Project and say and speak about the answer to whatever, towards whatever you're going through. Speak the answer and not the problem. Number 9, I always say this too. Celebrate small victories. See the good in everything. When you're going through something, celebrate small victories. If there's a setback, celebrate the level you got to so that you can keep going. Celebrate the blessings that have got you to where you are. Celebrate those victories. Celebrate and keep the gratitude and knowing that there's still more work to do. Celebrate small victories. Yes, to stay motivated, to stay confident. Celebrate small victories. You have to do that. And make sure you stay in conversations with people that can celebrate those victories to you. Don't go tell the negative person about your problems, because they're going to celebrate your negative problems. Make sure you talking to the right person now. Because if you were talking to the right person, guess what? They're going to celebrate with you. They're not going to look for the problem in your conversation. They're going to celebrate the victories with you. And the last one, number 10, keep a journal and maintain a written track record of what you need to do next to stay in your joy. Yes, you can journal about what's happening according to the life lesson. And then you can write the word result and write the result there and just go back to it just to remind yourself of how you were successful the last time you went through a challenge. You can write about how you were successful the last time you were disappointed. You can write about how you were successful the last time there was a setback. So I hope that all of these tips are helpful for you, because when life happens, we still can be joyful. When life happens, we still can have good days, good weeks, good months, and good years. When something happens, it doesn't mean that life is over and now we got to live in the doom and the gloom. Yes, sometimes certain things are very challenging, but through it all, if you look up where the sun is shining, where God lives, guess what? He will always be with you. When you remember that he is with you, he's with you even when you're not thinking he's with you. But I want you to remember that God is always with you. You're never alone. And through every challenge, through every situation, just embrace and focus on what is good. No matter how bad the situation is, if you just focus on what is good, the light and the blessing is always in the lesson. So remember what I said. And if you have to listen to these tips and what I said in this episode 5 times, then do it. Because listen, everything I just talked about, that's how I have gotten through some of the most darkest places in my life. And I'm so thankful today to be able to talk about it. Because in 2021, when my mom passed away, and having to go to the altar to see my daughter married one week and go to the altar the next week and see my mom in the casket, it was very painful. But with God, it was very possible for me to be a woman of valor because of him. So that is why I'm sharing this with you. So I'm going to go through the tips real quick. I just want to go through them by number. Number 1 is acknowledge and accept your feelings. Number 2 is focus on what you can control. Number 3 is practice gratitude. 4, learn from the experience. 5, find support and connections. 6, engage in self-care. 7, visualize positive outcomes. 8, avoid dwelling on the past. 9, celebrate small victories. And 10, keep track of your progress. Yes, that's what you got to do, because all things are possible with God. And if you keep the right mindset day by day, all things good can always take place. And in the midst of the negative things happen, you just look at it like it is a life lesson. And that is it. So thank you so much once again for tuning in and taking the time to listen to SB Favorite Thinking Podcast. Please share this podcast with others. And as I stated at the beginning of the podcast, if you would like to give to the podcast, you can give at Cash App, $SB Favor, or you can give at Venmo at SB Favor. And thank you so much. And if you need to reach me, you can reach me at sbfavor@yahoo.com via email. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Subscribe to me wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click like, leave me some feedback, and share this podcast with others. You can find me also on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Audible, Castbox, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just Google SB Favorite Thinking Podcast and you will find me everywhere. I'm on iHeartRadio as well. Thank you so much for listening. I love you all. I'm giving you a virtual hug. Have a good day. Talk to you soon.